Hey brush brigands, welcome to another painting session. Today I think, hello, lads are coming in super soon. Today I think it's going to be another fun one because it's going to be completely um, improvised, I think. Um, I had a little, well, a happy little accident with the miniature that I was going to paint today, so I thought instead of becoming all desperate and all that, I thought, why not take another miniature that I had there that I didn't know what to do about yet and just have some fun with it and see what we can do with a completely improvised random color scheme here. Now, I just saw a little hair here somewhere. I just got my little tweezers here, but I think it ran away again. So hopefully maybe we're gonna see it later. But this is gonna be the gist of it. Oh, look at who's it already. Antellies, how are you doing? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, so hi. Well, I'm going to get right into it, and I have the palette from yesterday still on here because it's it was a pity to throw it away. Everything is still pretty usable. So, and we have a Fowler coming in. We got that notification crew already. That's awesome. Blame Landrest, nice. I will blame Landrest. You know what? Let me move my light here because it looks like, no, I'm just gonna leave it there. So, let me see. I wanted to throw some crimson down on the palette because yesterday we were making that beautiful banshee. She didn't have any crimson in her palette. I'm gonna plop it right here. Oh, crimson, it's that color, isn't it? Am I gonna have to get the tube? So I hope everybody is okay there. You having a good Friday, Thursday? I hope Friday. I don't know. We know we're the weird time kind of stream, so you never know what time people are joining us from. Let me see if I can find my crimson. I thought I put it around here somewhere. Did I put it away? Doesn't seem to be around here. Let me see if I can squeeze some out of this. If not, shouldn't be a huge problem, but I would actually like to have some there. So let me actually put it over here, which is easier. Meanwhile, just let me know how it is going for you guys. It is starting at about the same time as yesterday here. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon. So we are well past our breakfast and lunch. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. We got a nice bunch of crimson down there. And then I was going to replenish our resources of, well, indigo, of course. Actually, you know what? Let me grab the other brand of indigo that I have because it almost seems to be a little bit more intense. So let's do that. So this girl, I got her some time ago when I wanted to do some experimenting and exercise on object source lighting with oils. I had a whole bunch of miniatures printed for that, all miniatures with different object source lighting, and most of them I actually have painted already. She is in fact the last one I had, and I ended up not using her until now. I was keeping her as a sort of like a backup kind of mini. So today I don't have any color scheme for her or anything. I just super quickly looked at some of the like some candle pictures just to get a quick idea, but I really think we can have some fun with it and you know, just see what kind of color schemes we can come up with just on the fly. We got the blue. So from yesterday I did oh yeah, look at that. We are almost out of our titanium white. So we're gonna add some of that. There we go. Oh, and oh yes. Oh, we're gonna have to replenish a whole bunch of colors here. All right. Has anybody been up to no good lately, miniature painting wise? Did you guys try more oils, more acrylics? Did you try anything new? What else was I gonna put in there? Is it that? I don't think I'm gonna need the green. Is that? I'm almost out of Van Dyke Brown. Let's put some Van Dyke Brown back down. And then we might be almost good to, oh no, I know what. The burnt umber. The burnt umber is the only regular color I have that dries quite quickly, so I can't really use much of the one that's already there from yesterday. So we're gonna do that. And then we can just see what we can do about this girl. I have painted, if you see on my Instagram, I have painted an actually pretty much the same miniature. I mean, you got it right here. But she has no object source lighting. So this is the one I did already. I did some freehand tattoos on her. Unfortunately, I think this was back when I was using Vallejo as a primer, so you can see it, she's a little bit shiny, but she came out quite nicely nonetheless. So on her, it's all going to be about those candles that she's got on the base. It's going to be more about that. I did like the basing for that one though. It was really cool. So let me get some brushes here and let's get right started and see where this is gonna take us. Give me just a second here. All right. Hey, so we got our thinner, all that. Eller has no time yet for new project. Oh, well, I hope that happens pretty soon. And I hope, yeah, I hope you find some time. Oh, I know, it's busy days. Busy days. Well, here, was that the magenta? Yes. Well, I guess we're gonna start with some magenta then. Busy days here. It's the in Japan, their fiscal year actually ends around March. So March and April are pretty busy periods. Where's my, oh, the was here, the crimson. Let's see. Got a pretty dark purplish kind of color that I thought we can use down on the base. I think I want to start from down there and see where we can get from there. Oh, Fowler, you're you're preaching to the choir there. You really are preaching to the choir. It's I feel you, really feel you there. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna work these more days and then I swear I'm gonna be off, and I swear I'm gonna take time off, and then that does not happen. I am not new to that kind of feeling. But, you know, at some point you've got to, though. At some point you've got to take that time off. Otherwise you're gonna implode or explode depending on the situation there. So I think I'm gonna start just putting down some blues and purples and crimsons down there. I thought we could do the candles, we can do them red. I would like that. Would like red candles instead of white ones. But first of all, I want some of those shadows down there. It's going to be pretty tricky to paint like the inner parts of this base, so I'm really thinking I might want to start with that and then go on her. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. It's there's a lot of stuff that's in the way So we're going to do our best here. We're going to do our best. Oh, Moe, hello. Moe coming over from the other chat there. Thank you, Fowler. Yeah, I was mixing, I actually wasn't using the dioxazine purple. We were using just the indigo, the crimson, and a bit of magenta, and that made actually a pretty nice looking purple. Let me see here. I'm just checking. I forgot to check. Okay. Forgot to check that my phone volume was down. Always gotta check that. Yeah. So Moe, I saw you there over at James's stream. It was a lot of fun. I was in most of the time, but I did not have much time to talk in chat, unfortunately, today, because I always love to participate in the chat. Today, though, all I could do was just have streams on while I was working. I was on Avocado Kids earlier today. But you know, that's good. That's a lot better than a big old nothing, right? So now I'm actually gonna change brush, and I want to put some darker reds in there. So we're gonna take, let me see, almost actually a bit of this yeah, I want to say cerulean, no, cadmium red, crimson. I want it to become slightly darker, so we're gonna add maybe a little bit of that black, because if I add too much blue, it's gonna become too purpley, which we don't want. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna see how that is looking. Got the latest files from the Antelli's. Let me think. The Swamp People, isn't it? Yes, I still have to see one printed, but I might have to do one of those too, because those they were looking really good. Do you have one? Do you have one you want to print already? I saw their pinup one was looking pretty nice, actually. I was digging that one. Moe, I did not. That's actually a pretty good idea. I could ask him some tips and opinions there. Well, he does drop in here every once in a while, so we could ask him either here, or I think I'm gonna be on his stream tomorrow as well. So that is a pretty good idea there. Can see what he's got to say about the big streams. I know he's done long ones recently, so it's definitely a veteran of that kind of stuff. It is a little bright. I mean, we've got a lot of contrast at the moment with the miniature, so I guess bear with it for a little bit until the whole miniature is covered in stuff, and then it's going to be a lot easier to see. Let me just try. Come on. No, not that one. It's a little too dark. Yeah, I think, oh, wow, that's very different. This one might be better though, for you to understand what kind of colors we're putting on. You don't really need to see the unpainted parts, I guess. So it's gonna take some time. I'm actually putting on color less like liberally, like we always do with the pre-glaze. I'm almost putting on the color like this is our actual layer of paint, because I don't know, that might actually be a thing we can do this time. Just paint without pre-glaze. I don't know. Today is improvisation day. Anything goes. So we're gonna see. Like the gradient. Ooh, thank you, Fiddler Jones, and welcome in. Nice to see you in here. Yeah, I don't know. I just again, if you were here yesterday, you know that we might have been thinking about painting something else, but that did not happen because that miniature had a little accident and broke a little piece. So I thought, why don't we do something fun, something else fun instead of not streaming or whatever? Because, so I got the idea. I saw this miniature that I'm like, oh yeah, I did have that one. Let's do something fun with that. And so I'm making a really, really cool looking red here. I do like this darker red, very, very sexy red. Just gonna be doing some kind of, I don't know, like ceremony, an offering, I don't know. It's gonna be a little messy here because her very nice loincloth is just in the way for us to be able to paint these candles. So I'm not gonna do too much for the inside of the candle. I'm trying to get it to a decent spot in, you know, at the beginning, so we don't have to retouch it too much. But, you know, fear not, it is going to eventually look good, as you know if you've seen these kind of of oil streams. The demon frog, isn't that right, Tellies? That's really cool stuff. The monsters, they're the big stuff, they're always so cool. So I've been wanting to print some more of their bigger monsters, and the mounts. The mounts are really cool. The only mount I ever did was this guy. It was actually still one of the first minis I did in oils, so it was a lot of experimentation, but this was okay, wait. Okay, it's not naked. Okay. This was the mount, one of the mounts I did from Artisan Guild. If I did it now, I would put up a whole bunch of stuff on the base, but I was having fun putting purples down on the fur there, and greens and stuff, and doing all kinds of weird things, glow effects and all that. It was still when I was kind of learning how to do smaller miniatures, so that was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun. Thank you, Tellies. There we go. Yeah, the glows are so, like, they make themselves really. Seriously. It's really cool stuff. Tellies. There we go. But yeah, speaking of big monsters, I guess I do have my my share of Artisan Guild big monsters there, because that is going to be our 12-hour stream there. The big Tarrasque. I can't wait. I actually, well, that one we're probably gonna do quite some research for the color scheme, and I want to do something cool, like, well, of course, but I don't want to do something too, you know, normal. I want to put some cool colors in there, something, go a little crazy maybe with the kinds of colors. So my way, that is a yes, that is a better way to describe that, I believe. So we're gonna get that. Maybe we can get a little bit of that there. Blue and green here on the foot seam. Why is it this brush is split in two? I don't know why. But for this stage, it is quite all right that it would be. So we're just gonna go back and forth with some colors here for now. But it's going to be a lot of blues, I think, in here, because I want to really put some contrast, I think, between the candles and the candlelight and the rest of the miniature. But apart from that, I didn't think about that too much. So yeah, we're just gonna build it up from the bottom up, really. That is going to be what we do here. Maybe even try a slightly different than usual way of painting with the oils here, because why not? Well, I know that there are people that don't do the pre-glazed thing with the oils, and that could be fun too. So that, like, I'm actually sort of like already doing some blending here, because I'm actually still not 100% sure that I want to pre-glaze this part. Maybe we can just leave it in, or maybe do just a little bit of oil removing on the base there, but the candles already look pretty good, and I didn't go crazy with the paint there, so that could be a fun thing to do. I'm also trying to take care of the inner candle part, because they are quite hard to reach, as you can see. There we go. Wow, it really is kind of hard to see the mini, isn't it? But okay, well, let me see. We can progress with just thinking about colors here. Thinking about colors. Well, it's gonna have some object source lighting, of course. Hmm. Let me see, maybe a little bit of that brown here and crimson. Just making a few colors to play around with here. Maybe even some, look at that. Even some white in there. There we go. Look at that color. That could be interesting. All right. Yeah, Moe, there's a lot of object source lighting on there. There surely is. And I mean, candles are not a huge object source light, but you know, we can also play around with intensity there. Like we could really be we can really say like, well, these are magic candles, their light is more intense, or whatever we want to decide, because it is our miniature. We can decide whatever we want about it. But I was actually toying around with the idea of making giving it that photography sort of look, where it's like the flame is almost just white. So if you ever take a picture of a candle or a source of light, it'll usually, if you want to expose the rest of the picture correctly, it'll probably overexpose the light, and it's gonna look completely white. So I was thinking about something like that. Why not? For now, I just want to put some blues in some of the recesses here. Then we can play around with the rest. Still don't know if I want to do the rest of her more in like a darkness kind of style, where it's going to be mostly like blue up there, or if you want to make her a bit more like maybe there's another source of light. Who knows? We're literally gonna just build it up and see. So that sounds like fun. So yeah, let's get those legs in. It looks so messy now. So it's just really going to be cool to see how it evolves from there. There we go. For right now, my main preoccupation is to get this like lower part of the miniature to sort of like cover everything with some kind of paint, because it's going to be really hard to put more details in there when later, because of how hard it is to get in there. So I just want to put some darkness in there, right? And so then we can worry about that a lot less. There we go. Come on, get covered. We got that part, we got that part. Aha, see, I saw another little piece there. That underside of that little scarf there. We got that. We got in here. See, it's a little finicky to get around, but not terrible. I mean, I see some of those crazy looking like GW miniatures, the Warhammer ones, where it's a monster and it's got like so many details. Oh God, so many details. You know what? All right, so we got that now. Do we want to make it all dark? Do we want to make it like super dark? You know what? We could. Why not? Because we can always change that. We could always change that. How about we just do that? We make a whole bunch of blues. We got that. We even have, because that's pretty indigo, pretty dark, but we can add some of the white. We can even get a little bit of this I actually think I had ultramarine blue over here, just a little bit left, and I just put cobalt blue over the top of it because why not? So this, I guess maybe here we can do it a bit more pre-glaze kind of style. Let's just make her all sort of like blue and see from there. And then we can even switch to some green. Why not? Like, really just experiment and test. I'm just taking the this different ooh. Hey, Mike is Bond. Thank you for that follow. Welcome to the Brush Brigands. How are you doing? I was saying I'm just taking the chance from this sort of unforeseen change in the schedule to just play around with stuff. Play around, have some fun. Maybe we want even a bit of green up there, because why not? Because why not? Get some green, mix it with some of the blue. Oh yes, look at that. Look at that. Actually, this? Yeah, I like that. I like that. I dig. And then we can even put some, nope. What was some blue there? Yeah, and give it a bit more of a, wow, that's really bright actually. That's a little too bright. No, go back. Like a grayish kind of look over here as it goes up to our more important parts of the miniature. Oh, this is going to be really interesting. This is going to be really interesting. And look at the intensity of these colors. Aren't they crazy? Super crazy. Let's see what else we can put up there. I think we can put some more green. Actually, let's get just a little bit of that, a little bit I said, of the thinner, because that green has been there for the night. But this could be definitely pretty interesting. And as I was saying, maybe we can focus more on a like lighting sort of thing. Let's actually go back down a notch here with the darkness. And we are filling, oh, actually this one, filling already our palette, but it does not matter. Oh, look at who came in. Jack a Flack of Flame, how are you doing? How are you doing? Oh, I hope you got some rest yesterday in the end. I hope you got some relaxation. I don't know if you got to do anything in the end, but most of all, I hope you got some rest. We're having fun today. We're having we're doing something different than we thought, but it's going to probably be a lot of fun because it's going to be basically complete anarchy and just see what happens kind of stream today. So, you know, the miniature I was gonna paint was not available, and you know, I panicked for 5 minutes and then I thought, wait a minute, we can probably have even more fun than what I thought. So this is what we're gonna do. Hey, oh my God. Thunderhead Studio coming in. What? Are you crazy? Not even saying hi with a subscription? Man, thank you so much. Second month. Oh, Thunderhead. Everybody, if you don't know Thunderhead, you should probably go give him a follow because he is an amazing streamer and he just started a whole bunch of new style minis there. Privateer Press stuff, I believe. I still have to come look at some warjacks there. How are you doing, Thunderhead? That's I mean, I guess that's that is a way to say hi. That is a way to say hi. That's it's a great way to say hi. Thank you so much, Thunder. How are you doing? I don't think I was there for your last stream. I think I was there for the one before last. I came and said hi. I hope the streams are going well. I love the way you post pictures before the stream, by the way. Of you just like looking very puzzled at the miniature you're holding. I love those pictures. Very very unique. Hey. Oh, thank you, Lazar, for that. That was most handy. Decent. Didn't go on today. Oh no, Thunderhead. So I guess that could officially make today the unforeseen complication day. How about we call it that? Because I was going to paint a certain miniature today that I think I even showed people yesterday. And then just about 5 minutes before I had to go live, I noticed that that miniature was actually missing a piece. So look at that. That could be pretty interesting there. That could be pretty interesting. So yeah, I think we're gonna call today the unforeseen complication day. But Thunderhead, man, I hope your migraine goes better, gets better. Oh man, I'd make you, I don't know, maybe a nice black coffee. That could help. Like a ginger tea with some honey in it. That is nice too. I mean, you know, I'd say beer, but I don't know how much that would actually help the actual migraine. But you know, everybody is kind of different. Everybody's kind of different. I remember my karate teacher back in Italy. He had a daughter that was adopted from Vietnam, and it was so weird. When she had a headache, she would tell him, "Please, can you like just beat like." She wanted to like him to beat her head, like, you know, tom tom tom, like on her head, and she said that like her mom used to do that, and he was feeling so bad about doing it, but she said that it helped. It was so weird. It was really weird. So yeah, black coffee, and the caffeine actually is in a lot of the painkiller stuff. So I guess before you take a painkiller, you can try that hot mug of black coffee. I could do some more. I could definitely do some more. I did mine already, and I do try to keep at one per day, because it's probably best, isn't it? So just try here to get every piece there. Well, isn't that looking pretty good there? Isn't that looking pretty good? So I do still want to leave these colors there for a while. You know, Thunderhead, maybe you should do something together with maybe even with the oil painting. Maybe we should do a dual stream sometime. Something like that. Oh, True Sausage. Hello. Is Avocado Kids done? I guess he was going, I guess a couple of hours ago he said he wanted to go a couple more hours, so he might be done. Well, I hope you enjoy your dinner there. Hope you enjoy your dinner, and now you gotta let us know what you're having. because you know the rules here. I just want to show me. I wouldn't be sure of that, Thunderhead, because with your skills and the power of oils combined, with those powers combined, I don't know what you could be up to there. So if I was trying to set you up for failure, I don't know how good that plan would be. Now I just want to, I just want to listen to more of your voice. Which is really, I don't know, it's a perfect like podcast voice. Very, very nice voice. That is, so if you don't follow or know Thunderhead Studio yet, that is definitely, it's a come for the minis, stay for the melty, sweetie voice kind of deal there. There you go. Oh, True Sausage, you're still at the early stages there. Gotcha. Well, let me know. I hope it's a good one there. I just had some ramen, so that was really, really good. I can assure you of that. Look at how dark she looks. All right, you know what? Let me cut some sponges. Let me cut some a biscuit Daka Flaka Flame had. What is my thing here? Now I've got some bourbon. Oh, you know what? That does feel pretty good, just even listening to it. But it was really nice yesterday. We had the I was just having a random, like non-alcoholic drink and thought that was gonna be my night, but then unexpectedly the drink fairy turned up with a big glass of plum liquor, so it was an even better stream today. So very, very nice. Biscuits and bourbon does sound pretty nice, doesn't it? Oh boy. But so Thunderhead, did I miss any warjacks? Because now I'm gonna get obsessed by watching you paint a warjack. You were painting a, what was it, a wizard the other day? It was a more character kind of miniature, I think. And then I remember that I was bugging you for warjacks, and you're like, no, I'm not painting warjacks yet. I'm doing them, I don't remember what, next week or something, next time. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm later what, but I'm just gonna go check your Instagram if not. Okay. Let me see here. How's she feeling? We could actually kind of start there with the with the undressing of the color, just more of like a pat kind of thing. I did try to use mostly staining colors. So we're gonna gently pat most of the color away. But I think so. Working on infantry. Oh, the upcoming. I am not late. Nice. Man, again, I was when I was playing Iron Kingdoms, which basically is the historically earlier version of what you're gonna play. I guess it's the more like a steampunk kind of thing. I was having so much fun, and I had a jack. And I had a jack, and I was also an alchemist, and man, was that fun. I gotta remember what my guy was named. It was something super stupid. I think I had like the word bolt in the name or something like that. Like modeling weapons for, ooh, Thunderhead, you model your own stuff as well. Wow, what a complete streamer you are. That is beautiful. Yeah, no, you got all your stuff and your products going on there. And I love the the 3D printer cam as well on the stream. Now magnetize them onto the frames. Gotcha. And we are actually probably next week. I think I'll get to that. I'm doing a 12-hour stream. Doing a 12-hour stream, and we're painting a Tarrasque, huge Tarrasque. That if I tried to show it to you with the current setup, you could only see probably like half of the head, or maybe a little bit of the tail. So that's how huge that thing is. It's gonna be a blast, and I think I'm actually gonna base him. I'm gonna put some stuff on his base on a stream before we do the big 12-hour stream. But that is going to be a blast. I have not decided what date yet, but it's going to be soon. I do have to allow a couple of days for to 3D print a few objects to put on the base, because we're gonna do that. Oh, look at the staining power of these colors. Yeah, I really think we can do a low-key lighting sort of deal here, where she's mainly getting light from the candles, and it's gonna be more yellow kind of thing, and then we can put a few highlights up there, more like in the blue and green realm of colors, and she's gonna be all like different colors like that. It's gonna be pretty cool. Yes, and I love this model too. So one thing we can do is look for my toothpicks that used to be around here somewhere. Let me see. Oh, I think I found them. And do the good old sponge and a toothpick kind of deal here. There you go. So Thunderhead, are you actually going to stream your games as well? Because I know you do all of the different streams. So I was wondering whether this last one that you're painting and preparing all the miniatures for is actually going to be in the streams or more for just for you. I was curious about that. Oh, and thank you for inviting me to the Discord some days ago. We were actually talking about that kind of stuff the other day. I think someone was asking if I had a Discord, and I was like, nope, I can't. I do not have time to, you know, to deal with all that. Sounds like a lot of work. Sounds like something that realistically I would not be able to upkeep. So what do you say? Like, I take my hat off at you for that. Because that I think that's a lot of work. I think that's definitely a lot of work. Daka, isn't that right? I think Discords, like, they tend to grow up too quickly. Like, they get a lot of those because of course, you have your nice Discord, and then you're like, well, but we need this section, and then we need this section as well, and then in the end there ends to be like a lot of them, and for some people it's just fine, and they are fine with that. For me, it does tend to get a little bit overwhelming, and it's funny because it kind of reminds me of the old like forum kind of format when you would go to an actual website. They still exist, but and you got your forums with your categories and all that, and that is now Discords. And I am in a few, but I end up really not looking at them much. So I thought, you know what, let's be realistic. I don't think the Brush Brigands are gonna have a Discord. Let's just keep it to the live streams. And everybody's gonna do what works for them, right? I would rather keep it simple and upkeep the streaming schedule and be able to do everything I want to do than have too many things and end up, not doing stuff or not doing stuff properly. Definitely, I think that is better for me. Yeah, right. The forums are fun. The forums are fun. I remember back in the day, I used to be really into a few of the forums. I remember when I was in one about Japan, and I actually met one of my best friends in there that I still in real life talk to this day, which was actually also the person that got me into photography. So forums were cool. I think forums is actually the first place where I learned words like spamming and stuff like that. Oh man, the nostalgia is real. Mm. Ooh, a streaming rig. Oh, in the game room, which I guess is the different room than the painting room. Huh. Oh, I asked the right question there. Tend to stream some tabletop gaming. Oh, that sounds so cool. Well, you already have a pretty good setup for your painting, actually. That I really like when I have to upgrade my you know how things are here in my painting area. I have to move the table around a little bit and find a better just upgrade this space, and after that I think I'm gonna be able to get a better camera angle, because right now the camera is like 90 degrees above the miniature from top down, so it's actually a little awkward because I would hold it more like this, but for you I have to hold it like this. um, so if I was able to put the camera in the you know, the different angle, the one that's more like from behind one of your shoulders, that would be a lot better, and I think I can achieve that quite easily if I change the layout of some of the tables here. Just taking some time here patting away at the color, but I think I like what I am seeing here. I think I like what I'm seeing. So okay, let's get rid of some of this mess here. Actually, let's put away some of these uh not brushes. Yeah, makeup sponges. Yes, words are words. But that sounds really cool, Thunderhead. That sounds really cool. Oh, let me get. We haven't said hi to the Tiny Stein yet. Hello, Tiny Stein. Oh, thank you, Tiny Stein, for always hydrating my throat and keeping it nice and oiled, lubricated. Let's set it up so shadows can depend. Ooh, I would be up for that, Thunderhead. Well, now that I know that, I'm gonna start farming chat points. I've been to a few chats that have that kind of interaction, and I have to say, I do like that a lot. It's completely something different, but one of my friends, he had for a period, he was playing stuff like Minecraft online, and you could use your channel points to send him monsters or give him potions and stuff like that. And I remember that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I have killed him so many times, but yep. And oh boy, looking at the kind of chat you get, that's gonna be pretty interesting, Thunderhead. That's gonna be pretty interesting. But yeah, so farming channel points it is from now on. What is better than some chaos on stream, huh? So doing some more blending here of the colors. I do like this. This red is pretty sexy. I dig. I dig. I think the candle color I'm gonna do in a bit, because it's going to be close to white. So I want to wait actually a little bit until I have had you know, I finished messing around with some of the base. I think it's gonna be better. So yeah, we're just gonna keep doing this complete anarchy type of painting session today. It's gonna be really interesting. So even here, just getting some blending of the colors. That looks pretty good. All right. So yeah, I love how everybody has these different sort of things going on in their streams. I know we have, he's not here yet, but one of my people that comes in all the time, he streams miniature painting and like car stuff. He does pinstriping and stuff like that. Yeah, there's people that stream their games. It's just a nice mix. I really like it. I dig. Really dig. This miniature has been primed for a very long time. She was there for forever. So, let me think. You know what? I think we should probably at this point put in some of that object source lighting from the candle. Where's that? Yes, this one. And let me think what kind of color we can use here, because Yeah, well, let's do a little bit of experimentation, shall we? Because, like, I guess candlelight is not super... Oh, wow, the yellow is very, very dry today. Candlelight is not like the big firelight, right? It's not super orange, I would say. Again, we can take a lot of license, of course, but I think we can start. You know what? Let's get like just very slightly orange, maybe even with a bit of this. I just threw down some fluorescent orange just because, you know, I had it here. Not because I love doing that banshee yesterday so much that now I have to use fluorescence all the time. No, surely not because of that. But yeah. So let's see how stuff would look if I started throwing some of these colors up on there. Let's just get an idea, a little feel for which colors we want to use. Maybe even a bit more orange at this point. Wow, that's very, it's a little too orange maybe. You never know how it's going to look on the miniature though, right? That might even look good. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. I think we're gonna give this part some of these colors here. So this kind of orangey type of color. Wanna replenish our brush quite often because it's gonna pick up a lot of that blue paint. But man, this like blending stage of things where you blend your color right after the pre-glaze is always like, it surprises me that I'm doing it. It's really, really cool. There's a really quite yellow amber. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I really don't want to get too orangey there. I think this color that I'm putting down is going to be more the darkest kind of the parts of the object source lighting, and then we can go over it with a more yellow kind of thing. But yeah, they don't really get red hot, as you are saying. So it's definitely going to be a more almost like yellow white kind of light. Definitely. So we're going to see how finicky we can get in here, because definitely there are a few parts here that are a little harder to reach, but you know, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Well, she's gonna have to have some over here. I think it's fun sometimes to just do these things where you didn't really think much about what to do with the model. It's I think it just sparks that creativity that sometimes when you're working with you know, strict color schemes and stuff like that, you kind of forget about that just plain experimentation. Yeah, starting to get there, starting to get there. Just adding some more of that lemon yellow light. I think it's gonna be pretty nice for this kind of thing, actually. Just gonna put some in there. It's how we're getting there. I'm gonna get there. Go. Such a humble bride. But look at that word spinner. Look at that word spinner spinning my words right into my own mouth. Well, you know, if you want to see it like that, Mr. Thunder. I don't say tee though. That one doesn't get a pass. I do not say tee. Sorry about that. You're gonna have to take that back. All right. I've heard the drink fairy say tee. Tee. All right. So let's put some more there. Artistic one. Yeah, all right. Wow, it it really kind of looks like there's light there. I do like that. So what do we have on the other side here? So many candles. Like this, I had this miniature printed with the explicit intent of just like, you know, pushing the boundaries here, just like let's see what we can do with just these candles that are literally sort of in the way of the miniature, because they are a bit in the way. I have to say. But it's gonna be cool. You know, sometimes you get tired of just making, you know, of doing skin color and painting stuff the normal color. Sometimes you have to go weird and be like, okay, what about if it's dark and there's just some candles in there? What would it look like if it was just like that? You just go with that. So always be careful not to put too much paint on it. Definitely that was the biggest thing that I had to learn there. With acrylics as well. When I got started with acrylics, you know, I guess with acrylics is also more about like the thinning of the paints. There's so many even like memes out there about thin your paints, which is yeah, you do gotta thin your paint. I remember the stuff that I put on my brush at the end was mostly water, or well, actually it would be more like kind of the glaze medium was mostly glaze medium. It was crazy. But what is that? Ah, it's blue. I don't want blue. I want yellow. That's better. But it's nice to mix that just a little bit of that fluorescent orange, because hopefully it's gonna give it that little bit of you know, more intense pigmentation. We shall see. We're still gonna have to go a lot brighter, of course. We're just sort of like picking out where does the light go, where does the light reflect here. But that's pretty cool. There we go. Yeah, there is a certain relaxation involved with painting on stream, because you know, when I used to paint off stream, I always had like, you have to deal with a lot of interruptions and stuff like that, and the fact of having to stream it, and you have that thing where you're like, all right, I took care of everything that I needed around the house, because now I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna stay live for an X amount of hours. I think it really just helps, like you have to just cut out the rest of the world, and it's just like you just gotta concentrate on this now because you're live. There's a video going, there's people watching you. You can't just be like, well, let me go just call my mom real quick. I mean, we could, but It's really cool. Able to organize my day around my stream hit times. Yeah, that too. Isn't that nice? Thunderhead, how long have you been streaming? I am curious, actually. It must be a while. Oh, wait. It was your streamversary the other day, so it's been, what, a year then? Duh. I think I already knew the answer there. Right? Or was it your streamversary for a multiple year? Because it was like streamversary and also like 100 or 1,000. January 20, there you go. Yeah, like I recovered from that one quickly enough, but you know when you ask things and you already know the answer and you're like, oh, oops. But yeah, so like how has it been? Has there been a curve in you know, difficulty of trying to keep it the same time or trying to keep the mood and stuff like that? Streamversary after 1K follows. And yeah, I remember the 100th art stream, which was really cool. Well, congratulations again, because that's a lot of streams. That's a lot of streams. And I guess you'd have even more, right? Because you do the gaming streams, the non-art streams, I guess. That is so cool. 3 times a week. Nice, nice. I guess it has to work for you, right? It has to work for you. And if you're trying to do something you're not completely comfortable with, or that actually, you know, it's not realistic that you're going to be able to keep up, I think that's where you sort of like shoot yourself in the foot, right? Because a lot of people is like, there's a difference between what it would be cool to do and what it would be realistic to be able to do. So I think that's basically the reason why I don't have a Discord, because I know it's not realistic for me to have one. I'm not even sure it would be cool for that matter. So just, yeah, leaving the room for other things there. Okay, I think we got an idea there of where our colors are gonna, or our light is gonna go. I think it's looking pretty good so far. I think we can actually put a bit more color. Let me actually think. Let me think. Yeah, I think for now I want to keep, I don't want to put the color into the candles yet, because they're gonna be so white. I'm sure they're gonna get all dirty from me going back and forth in there. So instead of that, how about we just put some fun colors into the rest of the miniature? Let me think. Ooh, I actually haven't used our makeup brushes in a while, so let me take another sip of our throat restorer or liquid. Oh, 140 streams. That's cool. Want to make more content like YouTube stuff. Yeah. The live is just something else. It's just so much more personal, isn't it? But then you can just put your live stuff on YouTube. Why not? Nosferatu, welcome back in. How are you doing? How are you doing there? Really glad to see you back in. Really glad to see you back in. Hope you're having yourself a good day. We are going completely, so you actually might be one of the people that saw that was expecting a different miniature to be painted, but that was not possible, so we had to go with something else, and this is what we are going with today. And it is being quite fun. We are just improvising. We are improvising a color scheme, something that I haven't looked it up. I haven't made any decisions before the stream. The only thing I looked up was like, I just Googled candles super briefly before I came in. Look at that. Just instant brightening up that area there. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Ah, just woke up from a nap. That sounds pretty glorious, actually. Sounds pretty glorious. I hope we weren't being too loud here that woke you up. I hope we weren't being too loud. We're actually being pretty chill today, so it's you know, we got the different mood streams. I think today is just gonna be real chill, just relaxing and painting, because you know, having a pretty busy week, so it's actually it's really nice to just be able to slow down and paint some minis and just take it easier for a couple of hours there and just think about, okay, what is going to be the next color we put on here? Just that and nothing else. So it might end up to be actually a pretty stylized kind of miniature here, going from you know, warm to cold kind of light. I think it might be pretty cool. I think it might be pretty cool there. I am digging that. So as soon as I got some more of these colors up on there, we can just start going in with some more details. But this sort of like dry brushy kind of thing that we're doing is helping getting out some of those details in the beginning, and then we can just go back in and do it in a more in a more better way. Okay, look at that. Need to get up. Oh, and get the laundry done. Being responsible, are we? I like that blue that we got. Look at that blue up there. All I did was just taking our titanium white here that was already mixed with a little bit, probably there must have been a little bit of the phthalo green and maybe a bit of the, oh, maybe even the cobalt blue, something like that. And I just did that. It was quite cool. It was almost like I didn't really do anything. So let me think. One thing that we can actually do is going to be some, yes. I know what I want to do. I want to give some reflection to a few of the metallic parts and the places I should have some. I just saw she's got some bracelets there on here that is, this is going to pick up the candle light. So we're gonna do that. It's gonna be a nice little reflected light there. What else have we got? It's actually gonna have like this is all gonna get a little bit lighter, so I'm not gonna touch that quite yet, but it's gonna be a bit here. What else does she have that is gonna get a bit? Oh yeah, I found it. I thought I knew that there was another one there. Did we just get a whole bunch of bots there? Holy hell. Magic coils, yeah. They're super magic. Wow, that was a raid. That was a bot raid. So thank you, moderator, for that. I've never seen like 3 in just one go like that. That was different. Hey, the bots show up, yeah. An army of bots. That was interesting. Well, you know, as long as we can tell bots from real people, I think we're gonna be safe for a little bit longer. Then after that is when it's gonna start getting a little creepier, isn't it? So I just want to get a bit of that. There we go. Just getting the candle light reflected in here. This is going to be that, you know, actually even here, duh, isn't this a blade after all? Isn't that a blade? Let's get some yellow in there. Ooh, this yellow might need a bit of replenishing there. It was there since yesterday and it's not the most long-lasting one. There we go. Ooh, is that a cool bust, Moe? I actually am not sure what that is. Those Boston Dynamics. Oh, Nosferatu, those things aren't they the creepiest thing? Uh, they're pretty creepy. Like when you see those videos of them actually like you know, they kick them to show that they can get back up and stuff like that. The only thing that my brain thinks is like, no, don't hurt them. They might, you know, they might get back at us one day. They might learn how to fight us back. Please. Oh boy. That stuff is, yeah, it's pretty, I think they know that. They're pretty self-aware in that respect, I feel. So it's kind of funny actually. You get even a bit of reddish color from you know, from the candle maybe. Because if it's reflecting the light from the candle, it might reflect just a little bit of that reddish color from the candles themselves. It could be. There we go. Instrumental in their creation and spare them? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. If I had to bet on it, probably not. Ooh, is that part up there gonna get a maybe just a little bit? Maybe just a little bit like that? Sorta? Yeah, that would be my guess there. Just a little bit like that. Okay. So we got that, and then yeah, then I think this part can get like over here. We can catch that here, and maybe like a bit here. That would be my guess as to where the reflection from the light goes. Of course, it's going to be a little bit lighter than this, but we can't put all of the paint on the miniature at the same time, right? Just gotta sketch it out a bit first, and then we can go back in. Of course, there's going to be a lot less layering than if we were painting in acrylics, but still. I feel like the more you paint with oils, the less of these, you know, passages you have to do, and you're gonna eliminate steps. There we go. That's starting to look a bit brighter. Nosferatu, I did. It's I think it's a girl, but it's yeah. We just started it tonight, and it's going to be basically, I think you saw the fish guy, right? This guy? We were gonna paint this guy today, but he had a little accident. He is not gonna be ready for painting tonight, and I found that out about 5 minutes before going live, so that wasn't you know, I had a little bit of about 5 minutes of panic, and then I decided, wait a minute, I just have this miniature here that I've been holding on to, that I got this one painted way back when I started painting in oils, just to, because I got a whole batch of miniatures with an object source light, just to exercise, but I ended up not painting her, and I just had her for you know, as a backup. I didn't know what to do with her yet, so I'm like, well, you know what? Today is your big day. You are getting painted today, and I thought, how about we just do something about improvising a color scheme? and just seeing where that takes us, because sometimes the best stuff can come out from things that you weren't thinking about painting. If there was go rogue, I've got a, oh, do you? Do you? And you wouldn't be willing to maybe share it with us, Thunderhead? That might come in handy if they actually do go rogue. Unconditional surrender. Yeah. Oh no, no problem, Nosferatu. No problem. I have been holding her from this side for a whole bunch of time. Yep. Unconditional surrender. Oh wow, that sounds like a good plan. Well, it's good to know that in extreme cases you'll just be turning your back to your fellow humans there. Good to know. I'm gonna remember that. That paint was way too thin that I put on there, but it still kind of worked. All right, let's see here. I want to just take some of this white mixed with blue and just get oops, where are we? Just get some more light up here because I want to get an idea of the contrast that I'm gonna have. So I'm just gonna try a few things here. Ooh, okay, okay. That might be a little light there. Ooh. Oh, Nosferatu, that sounds great actually. You know, you're right. I actually do use Guy a lot, especially when you're streaming and there's someone in chat. It's really hard to know what's what. So it's just like, hey, what does this guy want? So that sounds really good actually. Plus, I've always liked the word guy too because you can use it pretty liberally. There you go. Ooh, nice. Very I guess they're in shortage of cloth in her tribe or something, because they have to be careful how much they use. Can't use too much cloth. Scarves they have plenty, they got all the scarf, but actual cloth, not too much. So actually, let me get some of this this blue here and get a little bit darker than that because I was getting a little bit too bright, a little bit too quickly. Let's see how that looks. Just building some of these lighter colors. There we go. Oh, look at that. What did I spot? Spotted a little piece, two pieces of unpainted miniature. Let me get another brush here. This one maybe. Let me just put a bit of color back in there. That'll happen, but it's pretty easy to fix. Like those little dots where you still see the the primer. There we go. No problem whatsoever. And we go. Okay, back to our thing here. Let's get some. So I'm just doing indigo and white at this point. Some indigo and white for some highlights. Actually put some over here. Oh, we're back to the bandages. Does anybody remember the bandage curse with other minis that we're painting? There's so many bandages, and I think this this mini here is not gonna spare us from the curse of the unnecessary bandages. Oh yeah. Just tell me this was already primed. Yes, Nosferatu, it was primed. It was primed. That would have been quite interesting because the primer does need to sit for a while, doesn't it? No, no, it was primed. Yeah, it has been primed for months, so primer has quite settled on this one. Settled quite well. Put some, yeah, I just want to go like the more like the bluish light for the moment, and then see how it's gonna go. The Cult of the Band-Aid, isn't it? I like that. Bandages for everybody. She's got, and what was the other girl that we just painted the other day that has so many bandages? This one. Is it this one? Yeah. This one was another one of the series that I did for the object source lining, but look at all that bandages that she's got on her. So freaking many. So she was another, she's from the same series as this girl, I believe. What are they called? The Amazons? Is that the collection they're from? The Amazon set? I think they should be. I can't be 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Like maybe 80%. Because I remember I painted one that was called something like the Amazon Queen, and she had the same kind of feathers on her, so, but I could be wrong. Oh, Daka, the buckles. The buckles, isn't that a thing? I actually really don't like buckles. I wish they put less buckles on stuff. They always end up being too small for you to put enough details on them. And maybe that could be a fun thing to do, just like develop a way of painting buckles in a decent way. Nosferatu. Have you tried making sense of the band-aids? Oh, what no. We have tried. We have tried making sense of the band-aids. That is not bandages, sorry, not band-aids. It's I think that's a lost cause there. Sorry to tell you that, but it might just be a lost cause. So let me see here. I think I wanna introduce a little bit of a greenish white as well. Elements, because why not? Let me see here. Let me just look at, okay, she's got like the greenish hair that I'm really digging, because why not? So we're gonna start with that. Putting these very like straight hair. I remember with the other girl like her I did, it was pretty hard to like figure out how to highlight and all that. But yeah, I think I want to put some green on this side of her. Maybe even that's something on the weapon there. There we go. Quick buckle lemon, highlight in each corner, move on. Yeah, exactly. Whoa, it's Pixel Props coming in with all those props. How are you doing? How are you doing, Pixel Props? Thank you for coming in. And you guys, if you don't know Pixel Props, that is another amazing stream that you probably should check out. So go give him a follow if you don't know him yet. I always try to catch him, and rarely I'm able to, but still I do my best. But maybe you guys are in a better sort of time zone for that, for catching the pixels and the props. Let me think. What have you been working on, Pixel Props? And also, I guess, good morning. Those candles on the base. Nosferatu, those are candles on the base. I didn't put in the flame yet because they are quite close to the legs. So I want to do a bit more work on the legs and the base area before I put the very very bright light on them, because I know how it's gonna go, right? It's gonna be pretty messy. So this is what we're gonna do. We're putting some mid-tone slash highlights around the more bluish part of the miniature at the moment. And this is an improv day. We are just, sorry for the awkwardness of the angle there. Just need to get, there you go. We're just not following any particular, you know, color scheme today. We're just going with the flow. We're going with what feels good in the moment. So that is pretty interesting. Let me see here. I want to put some more green onto her. Oh, you had your coffee. That's nice. And chilling a bit. You did 7 hours of stream. That's long. Nice. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty long. My compliments to you. It takes a toll, but it feels good, right? The stream for 7 hours, and then usually people appreciate it too. It's really nice. So nice. I'm glad you've been able to do a nice long stream. Hopefully it was a lot of fun and you got a lot done. Ooh, which Death Dread are you at? Did you do 7 of 9 yet? Did you do 7 of 9 yet? That is the important thing that we need to know, right? Because Pixel Props is making, among other things, 9 beautiful Death Dreads. There you go. Let's put some more green on this side, because why not? Yeah, even up here, actually. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
Ooh, who's that? Hawk. Thank you so much for that follow. Hawk, I guess. Well, but thank you so much anyway, and welcome to the Brush Break-ins. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're having a great day there. Thanks for coming in. Oh, Thunderhead, do feel free, please share away, share with people the fruits of your long day of work. Please. Oh, wait a minute. I'm missing out on some chat there. Oh, you made the Cyberpunk goggles, Pixel Props. Gotcha. Okay, Hawk, we are painting a model from a 3D printed model. It is from Artisan Guild, and we're going pretty anarchy today with it. We're just coming up with a color scheme on the fly, basically. And this is due to the miniature that I wanted to paint today not being available anymore. So I just thought, how about we have some fun and just play around with improvised color schemes. So yeah. Oh, a multi-stream with Brush for Hire. That sounds like a lot of fun. And still on 3. Gotcha. Oh, Hawk, actually, the impeccable internet connection is due to me being in Japan, where we have pretty ridiculous internet. So that's pretty lucky. So thank you, Thunderhead, for sharing all that. I am also going to go look at it later. What minute are we at? 1:29. Let me put that in, because like I changed my stream setup a little bit. I used to have a laptop next to me, but lately I've been just doing a phone, and it's been a lot easier to read the chat and a lot better for just focusing on painting. So I'm really liking this new setup that I got. And oh, Hawk, we're also painting in oils. And we did start this one from 0 today. All the Warjack parts, I gotta go see that. I gotta go see that. Nice. Nice, nice. Voodoo Graphics is coming in. Hello, hello. Oh, we are doing pretty good here. I mean, with we, I mean I. I don't want to talk for other people. But yeah, I'm just pretty busy. But trying to keep up with the stream and having some fun with some different ways of painting today. Yeah, it's been I think the improvisational part of these painting streams is I'm digging it. I am really liking it. Let me try something real quick. Should I? Let me see here. No, I don't think I can go. No, I think the camera is good like that. Ooh, Daka's sharing some stuff as well. Nice. Oh, you finished it yesterday or today? Very basic. Oh, I guess today. Nice. I'm gonna go look at that one as well. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. I know Daka's always doing stuff while we're painting. That's a lot of fun. Let me see here. We have that green here. I'm making this part of the mini a bit more on the green side. Why not? And then also put some more green up here. And then we're doing more of a bluish kind of business on the other side. And that's sort of like reflecting on what it's changing slightly depending on what kind of color we had down on the pre-glaze, which is the really cool thing about this. Yes. Might want to change brush for this though. Get this brush, let me get it cleaned a bit. Oh, Hawk. By the way, is it okay if I call you Hawk? Because I'm not sure how that Hawook. I kind of like Hawook actually, but whichever is preferred for you. But yeah, I don't know if you used to watch stuff like YouTube too. I used to watch a lot of miniature painting on YouTube, but ever since I found out about like people painting on Twitch, I was like, this is so much cooler and better and more fun. So that is I really like watching people on Twitch. So I'm glad you found the community here. There you go. Feel free to let us know what kind of stuff you like painting, if you'd like to. Let me see here, a bit of that green in there, a bit of right there. You go. That might be nice. Okay. Hawk. Okay. There you go. Where a piece pronounced it wrong. I like to say actually. Be leaning towards Warhammer 40k. Yeah, it's nice. There's definitely a lot of people that paint the Warhammer stuff. So I think you got your pick in that respect. I usually paint, well, my thing is basically I paint 3D printed miniatures, so not a lot of Warhammer on this end, but I do focus more on just you know, what kind of techniques we paint. We do a lot of themed streams like okay, today we paint this color skin, or today we paint, you know, object source lighting of this kind. Do a lot of that kind of stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I might actually want to get a different kind of blue in there, because that I might actually want to call the Prussians to the aid here. What do you guys think? You really didn't want me to use the Prussian blue the other day, but I might we'll see. I might actually have to give it a go. We'll see. For now, I'm just adding some different colors in here. Actually, let me see there. I want to put, there we go. I'm gonna put some highlights on that side of the hair. Nope. There are a lot of great painters on Twitch. Yeah, there you go. You got some nice recommendations there. You sub. There you go. Oh, the shift colors. Oh, those look pretty cool. Those look pretty cool. Some time ago, I did have my eye on the Vallejo color shifters, but I never actually got to grab them because I was slightly annoyed by the fact that you couldn't just get, you know, one color. You had to buy like a set of, I believe it was 5. And I was like, but what if I just want one, you know? It was the same thing as this thing they had here in Japan some time ago. They developed that like super black acrylic, the one that's like, I don't know, 99% non-reflective or whatever. But to get that, you had to get a whole set of acrylics, and I'm like, but I don't want that. Why do I need that? So I ended up not getting anything. Oh, let me see here. Oh, how is the focus doing? Whoa. There we go, that's better. Ooh, gruesome stuff. Oh, getting into a new game, it's always that thing of like, is this gonna be a new addiction? Probably. Is that good or bad? Depends. It depends. I really like stuff like, you know, the role-playing games, the Dungeons and Dragon type games, because you really don't need a lot of money for that kind of stuff. Of course, if you want, you can buy a bunch of books, you can buy a whole bunch of miniatures, but you don't need them. I think that is the one good thing about those kinds of games. It's really like all you need is pen, paper, and friends, and you're good to go. So that's definitely one thing I like about those. But there are so many different kinds of games for different kinds of people that you really need to try a whole bunch and then figure out which ones are good for you. There we go. I'm really liking this blue and red kind of contrast here on the mini. We haven't worked on the lower part for a while, but I think I'm gonna go with that for a bit more, and then we can go back and put a bit more light onto that object source lighting. Oh, it's gonna be really cool. I'm curious to see actually with this technique of you know, improvising, how far we can go in one stream. I mean, she's looking already pretty cool. She's not looking too bad. Let me see. Oh, where is my purple? Let's get some purple out there. Where is, there you are. Let's get some purple out there, and maybe a little bit of oh, what is that called? Burnt umber. That is what I wanted to see. Burnt umber and dioxazine purple. That name. That name. Really, Nosferatu, what happened with your first group? Now I'm curious. Now I want to know what happened with your first group for that made you what, maybe dislike having minis in your games? Of course, nothing wrong with that. I'm just curious about that statement there. But yeah, there can be sometimes some experiences might give us a certain idea about a game or anything else really. I'd be like, well, my first experience was like that, so I'm not gonna do it anymore, or you know, this is what I think about this. There we go. I just want actually some purple. Let me see. Okay. Just getting some, man, these things. There's so much and just get a new just get a new stick there if you have to put a whole bunch of bandages on this one. Oh boy, look at this hand. There's like so much oil on it. That is not great. Okay, let's see here. Actually, I wanted to put some purple over on this side of things. See how we can do that. There we go. There we go. Just wanted to get some purple in there. It's getting from blue to green to purplish, sort of brown. So why not just like change some colors around. Never played with minis for most of the time. I played D&D. Lego figures. Yeah, I mean, using minis does make it more like both realistic and a lot easier to understand where you're at in terms of space. But like you say, the cool thing is like you don't need to buy minis. You can use like bottle caps, you can use Legos. So, but definitely having something physical to put to reenact your battle is definitely a lot easier on the mind. That's for sure. I know when I first started playing D&D, our DM just had a bag of old, nasty, you know, those pre painted minis from, you know, the wizard ones, the ones that are just very like not super detailed, and I remember that, you know, the choice was limited, so it was always the same kind of minis, and we the zombies that we were gonna fight in one's campaign, it was gonna, one of the zombies was like the ranger that I was using in the previous campaign. That was really funny. Ooh, I'm Telly's, thank you. I think she's starting to look pretty interesting, if anything. Nice, thank you. Ended up being all about the combat. Never did encounter this long, convoluted. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? That might be more about what kind of people you play with, not much about the minis itself. Because, you know, there's different kinds of players, and some players they will like their wargaming a bit more. So I think it's all about, I really, after playing with some people, there was more like a random kind of thing. We would just like, you know, you find a few people to play and then they bring friends, and then it's just like you just happen to play together. I think after like 2 years of that, I really realized how important it is to have things like session 0 to actually decide, okay, are these people, are we compatible? Because it's not, and I don't know if maybe if it's a thing that translates in games like Warhammer as well. I wouldn't be able to say. I'd be curious, but for games like D&D, there are different ways to play, and there are definitely different aspects of the game that different people enjoy. So it's really about finding people that enjoy the same aspects as you do, and there's no right or wrong way of playing, but if you put people together that like completely different aspects of the game, it's not going to go too well. So, you know, the campaign, the game that I'm playing at the moment, we actually did almost like a screening of the people. We met them. It was me and the DM, and we met these people. We first went to a bar with them. We had a few drinks. We talked about what kind of games we played and we wanted to play, and then we decided that yes, we wanted to try and play together. And we did like a few silly one shots, and then now we are playing a campaign together, and it's going great. So yeah, only downside of Legos, sometimes we end up playing with them instead of playing the game. Well, Daka, you know. It's happy little accidents, happy little accidents. That sounds fun though. That's that does not sound like something I would do. Not at all. Cough, cough. That's cute. It was so nice when that group got into war game. Yeah, exactly. That's probably what they were into. There you go. 40k, it all depends on the group you play with. There you go. So it's, I guess it's the same thing, isn't it? Okay. Let me think what to do next there. I think, you know, it might have been enough time that we can actually go back into those legs there and put a little bit more light. What do you say? I think we should. So let me do just that. Let's get that yellow kind of light in place, and let's see how that does. I might actually yeah, that's I actually don't need it to be that diluted. I would probably rather have it a bit more yeah, a bit more thicker than thin. You can tell who is a toxic player. Well, yeah, you have that too. I mean, there are people that I really feel like that would probably be better off, both for them and for the other players, to just have like a campaign just for them, you know? They are the protagonist. They have if it's a D&D like game, they have a DM. The DM's just for them, something like that. Just some people are just not made for cooperational games. I guess that might just be the reality of it, wouldn't it? Some people are made more for not being with other people. Oh, Moe, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I get it too, because like I know some people actually are able to maybe play online a little bit. Oh, but for me it's such a it's rough. I really don't like playing online. The whole point of it is being there together, being able to talk to each other in real time, and I tried, but you know, it's of course it's the next best thing. But when you're online, you know, you end up just talking over each other because you know, you can't tell when someone's talking. It's rough, it's rough. I am glad if some people are able to make it work for themselves, of course, but not really for me, unfortunately. You won't be playing with them unless it's like your last resort. Repair again. You have to spin the wheel when you come to turn. Ooh. I see. Well, yeah. There's I mean, there's so many like uh discussions and memes on the internet about different kinds of players. It's you know, it's always about that concept of like grown-up adults trying to get together for a game and just clashing ways of playing and clashing personalities, and that can be interesting. But you know, I think too is like a lot of people they just they try to make it work when it's just like, you know, it's just you just gotta find the people that are good for you. It might just be that this group isn't meant to be. As we are adding some more light to our candle light over here, and it's looking more and more like a light source. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. And I think after this we can actually, that might be a good sort of light, and then we can do some more like detailed kind of lighting. Let me see, how is it looking in there? It's a hard to reach spot. That's why I didn't want to put the bright white light on the candle quite yet, because I knew that I was just gonna bump into it the whole time for the way that this miniature is set up. I mean, I glued it on the base. I just when I was putting her on the base, actually, I was just I was thinking to myself, this is gonna be really hard to paint because it's gonna be really hard to get your brush in there, but you know, it's okay. Okay, I think where is the brush? This one. We can do a bit more details now. Just like straight up with the lemon yellow almost. Let's see here. Oh, Crispy, when did you get in there? Hey, how are you doing? Had a campaign with a few people I knew but didn't get on that well with. Made the whole thing a chore. Yes, exactly. I completely agree with what you're saying. It becomes a chore, really. It really does, because you're doing something that really ends up not being fun for you. And it's all because of how different people have fun. It's not it's nobody's fault. It's just you just should play with people that have your same expectations. There you go. Ah, the game that I'm in right now, we've really had some discussions about how we wanted our campaign to be, you know, how much the level of difficulty, the how much combat, how much role playing and all of that stuff. We even actually learned the system together, because it wasn't D&D, it was actually a different system. Let me change out this paper here. So we actually learned this system together. We made the characters together, which was a lot of fun. It was just, I think after that last less fun campaign that I had, I think we really, me and the DM basically, which are the ones that switched over to the new campaign, are we kind of, I think we figured out how to do it. It was it felt pretty nice after that. But like, okay, now it makes more sense, right? Now it feels right. Oh, Crispy been lurking. Lurking while working. I love that. So are you gonna stream anytime soon, Crispy? Gonna do more of those Dragon Ball minis? Which actually, you got those in Japan, right? You got those in Japan, I believe. Probably in Akihabara? I think you told me. I think it was something like that. Akihabara, or maybe Nakano Broadway. That's another place that that's really good for that kind of stuff. But it's less known than Akihabara, I believe. Homebrew I'm working on right now, so online friendly. Oh well, that's That's a nice thing, Nosferatu. So I just like adapt to the times, right? Humans adapt. That is our one of our biggest strengths. We adapt to changes. Homebrews are fun. Homebrews are fun, and there are a lot of existing worlds, of course, that are fun out there as well. I think my current favorite is Planescape. That was the, like, just to let you understand, that was the thing that I played during the lesser, you know, the weirder campaign with the people that were all from different backgrounds, but I still, that's the best setting I ever played. That was so much fun, so cool. And our DM adapted it to 5th edition D&D. So that was pretty wild. That was so wild. There we go. Just building up those lights there. Building up some lights. And we always have to remember to put more of a highlight on these things that she's wearing on her feet, because those are probably made of metal, so they're gonna have a brighter reflection than other things. But for now, we shan't worry about those. Just getting some details in there. Okay. You went to Aki. Well, that's a great place to go get that kind of stuff. That surely is. Yes. May stream on Saturday. All right. Oh, nice. You gotta do that little bit of a stream upgrade and update. That sounds fun. Yeah, it's nice. I've been doing a little bit of that as I go as well. It's always fun to figure out what you want to include in your stream. I think I'm pretty good with my current one, actually. I've played around a little bit ever since I started, but I think we might have reached a point where it's like, okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. So we're getting these. This is like the closest part of her leg to the candles here. So I'm gonna get a bit more light up there. There we go. And then also there. I'm probably gonna add, whoops, a bit of white later on. Not quite yet. We gotta, in a bit, I think we're gonna have to let the paint rest, as we say with the oils. Just let them rest for a bit. Come back to them later. It's starting to feel like they need that little bit of a breather. Okay. Are we been always good here on the focus? Yes. Okay. I hope all of these brushes are not distracting. Maybe I should have them over here. Let me see. Keep the workspace a little bit more tidy here. All right. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, there you go, Nosferatu. There's always light even in darkness, isn't there? That's a great excuse to be working on it once again. That sounds really cool. That sounds like a lot of fun, and even like a nice little challenge, perhaps. Oh, I just noticed how this thing here is doesn't have any color on it. That was quite odd. Let me see. Yeah, we can take care of that in a bit. I'm liking where we're going with this. I won't lie to you. Actually, also because I think we're doing a little bit of an alternative thing here, where the most saturated part of the miniature is actually down on the base. So I am curious about that. I'm curious about how that's gonna look ultimately. That's gonna be really interesting. But again, this is the mini where anything goes. Anything goes. There you go. Mine is all Gucci, crispy. What? Not sure what that's about, or maybe that wasn't for me. I don't know. Sometimes I look at chat and like, There have been a few instances where people are referring to memes that I'm not aware of, and they just fly over my head like the best of idiots. So I do apologize for eventual lack of meme knowledge, but you know, you get that fun factor of just making fun of the streamer, which is always good. I do enjoy that myself sometimes, so means yours are good. Gotcha. Oh no, but I was thinking about the Gucci, the Italian brand. So I thought you were maybe making a joke about me being Italian or something. That quite confusing. I thought, what am I not getting? Got really lucky with their first DM. Oh, as kids, wow, that's early. That's a nice early time to start. I moved away from the group. Once again, nobody to play with. Put 4 years of his life into it. Wow, Daka, that sounds amazing. That sounds like really you got lucky there. That's pretty cool. Man, I don't know. I'm not a kids person, but I think people that actually put some effort into getting kids into that kind of stuff, I think that's very admirable because I think it's a really good thing for a kid to be doing, like learning those communication skills and you know, a whole bunch of stuff that games like D&D are good for. That's really, really nice. I couldn't do it, but if there's people that can, that's awesome. There you go. Well, I think the back here is actually looking pretty bright there. Let me just we'll do a little bit of a double check on where the light is actually. Ooh, look at that. We just spotted one of these things here that actually needs, but we're gonna go back later and just make go up on all of these little pieces of metal and make sure that they have a nice bright highlight there for sure, for sure. Oh, crispy, you know, don't worry about that. It's quite common that, you know, while reading chat, between reading a message too late that was referring about something that happened 15 minutes ago, between typos, between memes, and between people referring stuff like you just said, um, sometimes you just get that chat bewilderment kind of thing, which can be quite fun. That is not a problem at all. Do not worry. Okay, I think, oh, you know, I think I want to add a little bit of light right there. And I think after this we might actually work on the candles a little bit. I think that's what I want to do. There we go. Really liking this lemon yellow pale. It's kind of doing what I was hoping the Naples yellow to do. I don't know if any of you have used the Naples yellow. I know, who was it? I think Unexpected was a lemon, no, Naples yellow user. Was he? I think. Or no, oh no, I think it was Mini Grinder Studio that was a swearing on it. And I actually even want to I was thinking about getting the Winsor and Newton brand version, because mine really didn't seem uh, to be all of that covering. It's weird too, because it's supposed to be a where is it? Where are you? It's supposed to be a uh, opaque color, but the Holbein puts it as semi-opaque. So that's probably why mine is not as covering as it should be, right? That's probably why. Okay, so I don't want to put too much paint on this area. So I think we're gonna be good for now. We're going to be good for now. We're gonna just real quick do some, there you go, some blending over here. And it's gonna be time to put some darkness back into our miniature pretty soon, but not yet. Nice to actually see what you're painting for once. Oh. What do you mean that you weren't able to see what I was painting before? I'm not sure. There we go. Maple, yeah, it's supposed to be sort of like this color, right? Which it looked like the perfect color to have, you know, together with white. I wanted to use it for highlights, to make highlights a little, when I needed warmer highlights, but it didn't turn out to be as covering as I wanted, so I got this color that's called Lemon Yellow Pale, and this camera is bumping it up quite a lot, but it's very nice and opaque, and it's been really cool. I've used most of it like for the candlelight there, so that I am quite satisfied with it, I have to say. So now let me get some of this beautiful cadmium red we have over here, actually, and let me mix a little bit with this crimson that is quite handily right next to it, and let's go back into those candles and see what we can do. Oh man, I love cadmium red. Yeah. Oh, right, Nosferatu. That's right, that's right. You were doing the low resolution game, weren't you? That's right, I remember now. Well, I'm glad you can see what I'm doing. That internet limitation there must have been a bit frustrating at times, I'm sure. Well, I'm glad you can see what we're doing. I hope it's to your liking. I hope it is to your liking, and yeah, sometimes watching from the phone can be a little, it's like you don't really understand what's going on, or not much. For me it's from the phone, because like resolution wise, like if I'm at home, even when I'm outside, actually I'm able to watch streams quite easily, because again, Japan has a crazy internet connection. So but yeah, I'm sure it's there's other places and times where people can have a bit of a hard time getting the resolution there. I used to have, like before this setup, the camera used to be pretty low quality, because of course that's what most people start with. I started with a phone camera, actually. So that was it was really nice to see the stream get a better quality there. Oh, Nosferatu, that's so nice. That's exactly what I'm thinking, because it's I am literally just looking forward to doing the painting, because I know that people are gonna come in and we're gonna have some nice talks, and it's just so much fun. I do love it very much. But yeah, it's also nice to see what what I'm doing though, right? And it's actually right now the resolution got so much better. Then sometimes I'm actually looking at the screen instead of at right at the miniature to see what's going on, to see some of the details. That's how nice it is to have a an actual camera, a DSLR for a camera for sure. Putting some reds back in there. There we go. On the outside at least. And let me see what I want to do with that base. What do we want to do with this base? We might want to put some color in it like now, because there will come a time where we gotta, you know, we can't really go back on it too much. Let me just think about it for a second. Picking up some information. Yeah. Oh, Moe, I'm really glad. I'm really glad you're getting all of those 60 frames per second. That's nice. So yeah, you can actually tell me how the focus is. If it's okay, it should be. It looks quite right. Yeah, like a second pair of eyes that actually work. Exactly. Crispy. Exactly. It has been a really nice for sure. Let me see here what we can do. Let me just play around with it a little bit. Just putting some glue up on some of these. Oh yeah, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. It's quite hard now to go in there and paint these these tiles. So gonna try to do our best. Oh yeah, Nosferatu. I kind of want to get a pair of those too. You are right. You just reminded me that I wouldn't mind. It's those, it's like you wear them as almost like a visor, and you can you have the magnifying lenses that you can like pull up or down, I think. Those are kind of the model that I was looking at. Those headset, they look quite handy, I have to say. I do like those. I'm gonna have to get something like that. Oh, is it, Moe? Is it that light that is it's like round and you look through it and it also has a light underneath it? I've seen those too. I've seen those, but I don't know if that would be optimal for the painting or for the streaming setup. I might actually be better off with something that I can, you know, take on or off, depending if I need it or not. But, you know, okay, there might be quite good on that. Ah, yes, yes. Certainly starting to come along quite well. So what is the next thing that we would like to do here? I still don't want to do the light on the candle quite yet. What we can do is we can put a few more details up on the upper part. Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's do just that. Get rid of my red here from this brush. I do need to get a few more brushes. I am doing a little bit of experimenting lately with brushes. Oh, it sounds like those the stationary magnifiers are a bit weird for more than one person, huh? The young eyes, yeah, we all do. We all wish that. Want to get some of those. Oh. We'll see, Deck. You have to look at what kind of things you can find, because I was trying on one of those visors, and you actually have to hold the miniature pretty close to your face. So you would definitely, if you're going with the visors, you would probably have to look at what distance it actually has to be in focus, because it looks like those visor things, they have a set, you know, focal point. So it's not that you can, it's not um like a binoculars that you can sort of like tweak it, but there might be different ones. So I would actually I would actually recommend you to maybe try them in a store if you can, or even just if you get them from Amazon or whatever, just like read the specs and see if it says how far from you have to keep it. Let me get a little bit of my liquid. Oh, a thunderhead. All right, all right. That's nice. I'll catch you hopefully in in your next stream. And thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for your support. It is so greatly appreciated. Before you go, let me do one thing real quick. One of us, one of us, one of us. Okay, now you can go. All right, I'll I'll see you soon, Thunderhead. Sorry I had to do that. Ah. All right, sorry. Just getting those drinks in. Um, Thunderhead, you know I love you deep within. I'm doing it for you. It's for your own good. Where was I now? What was I gonna do? What was I gonna do? I think I was gonna. Oh, yes, yes, I remember now. I remember. I was completely in control of the situation. Yes, I was gonna put some more highlights up on some stuff. So let's go ahead and do just that. Starting with, let me see here, a little bit here on the metal. Where are we? Yes. Okay. Oops. Well, that was a big highlight. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. We can always go back later and fix that. Let me see here. I think we want to put some, wow, that's very not thick enough. We need a little bit thicker there. Yeah, that's the first one of us. No way. Man, if I give that out, I'm gonna either have to like make another one, or I'll have to get her picture up there, because like if I end up sending that over to someone else, what am I gonna do without my one of us lizard? Gonna have to be a picture. Gonna have to be a picture. That just became a thing. And the funny thing is that that lizard is the one that we did in the fastest painting session. That was the 4-hour painting session. Isn't that crazy? There are other minis that we painted in like 3-4 sessions. A moving GIF, yes. And Telly's, that would probably be a great idea to do that. A moving GIF could just work. Should paint a new one. Yeah, maybe we can just do a slightly different one, maybe. We can totally, well, I mean, we can have a whole collection of those things, of one of us lizards. There we go. We can have different tiers of one of us lizards. We can paint a different one every month. It's just going to be lizards everywhere. Maybe one day we're gonna be able to paint the one that's the one with the breasts. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how things go. There we go. Nosferatu, yes, you can go back and look at the highlights. The whole painting session is there. I had that girl and I was like, how about we just try to do a little like you know, let's paint a mini in 4 hours challenge, and I chose that one and we did that. I had a sort of like a plan for the color scheme. I didn't go completely blind. I had a few ideas, but I think that giving myself the time limit was actually a really, really nice exercise, and it turned up making that mini. So definitely, I would say try it for yourself. The time limit did work for me. It was pretty cool. It was a very cool exercise. Like the oh yeah, mascots. We need more mascots. Yeah, James has all the Gandalfs. I have the one of us lizard. There you go. Maybe we're gonna have more, you know, there's a one of us lizard, but maybe we can have a one of us something else. It's gonna be all kinds of different one of us miniatures. Like maybe the ones that turn up to be the best lookings, they will be upgraded to official one of us mascot. I think that's how we're gonna have to do it. If it's a miniature that really shows the intensity of the oils and all that. Yeah, now I kind of want to do more of those 4 hours painting session things, because it looks like you can get some pretty cool stuff out of those. You can totally get some of the best stuff out of those short sessions. It just gets rid of all the you know, the unnecessary stuff. All the frills, all the indecision is just like, well, it's gotta go out, it's gotta get finished. So that was definitely a cool experiment there. We had a lot of fun with that. Maybe after I get a feel for oils. Well, go. All right. There you go, Nosferatu. Did you end up getting the oils in the end, or are you still undecided? There you go. Okay, we got that. Let's just go on with some more let me think about what to do here. What colors can I introduce in the top of the body there? We got more of a greenish hue here. Got more blue here and more purples here. You know, that might just be it. It might just be a good combination there. But let me do some mixes for some of the colors. Like if I get some, not that much, some burnt umber and some indigo. What is it over here? A bit more burnt umber and some white for maybe the skin up there. How is that gonna look? I need a bit more white, probably. I'm just gonna get a few colors situated. Oh, there you go. Nice. Nice, nice. Well, you gotta let us know when you actually try painting a miniature, what your impressions are, your first impressions and seconds and thirds, because I would be really curious to hear about that. It took me a couple of minis to actually get the hang of it, I have to say. Took me a couple of minis. Like in the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, I can see the potential here, but it's still a sort of like a wild beast. I have to learn how to tame the oils. And then they tamed me. They're like, no, no, no. You don't have to fight us like you do with acrylics. You just have to let us do our job. Just let us do our job, and we're just gonna do it. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, here. So let me see how far we can go with this. So I'm just putting in a bit of like bluish brown in the skin tones there, just to see if that is a thing that we can do, that we can get, just to not have the whole upper body be completely blue, but we'll see how that looks. So getting those hues situated. Man, she's got to eat a little bit more. Look at that. She's been starving. All right, okay. What do we want to do on the top of those legs? I almost want to leave them like that. I almost want to leave them like that, more of in the darkness, I think. I think that is what is probably good. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Winsor & Newton starter set. You can't go wrong with that. Nice 10 colors. That's I think that's all you need. Because then it's actually probably better than getting the big ones like the 12 or more, because I think after a while you're just gonna wanna, you know, start trying some specific other colors. Like you probably want to start adding your Terra Rosa, your Indigo, so you really don't need that many colors in the starter set, I feel, personally. Let me see. How is that going to look with some sort of like brownish color in there? Let's see how that looks. Even like here. And I'm gonna do a bit of, where are you? Of blending, 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 blending. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think she's doing that thing where you don't want people to see how much belly you have, so you do the like you do the breath holding thing. It's all a scene. I mean, you think she can hold it all for the whole duration of the session? That would be pretty impressive. That would be pretty impressive. A new story is about to begin. A new story is about to begin. Here we go. So how do we like that brownish kind of color? It's actually hard to see a little bit. I'm not completely sold on that. I think maybe we're better off with more of the bluish thing, but the brownish might be okay, because now it will change the sort of color that we have when we go over it with the lighter color. So I think it's still pretty good. So now let me go and start bringing some more color like up. There we go. We've got cloth, we've got over here. Oh yeah, the elusive Terra Rosa. That's right, you said you weren't able to find it in the Winsor & Newton stash, which sounded quite odd to me. And I think someone even was saying that, no, the Terra Rosa does exist in Winsor & Newton, so they might just have not, or was it in Michael's that you couldn't find it? No, I think it was in Michael's. And then you were saying that Michael's does carry Winsor and Newton. Maybe that's how it actually was. But I hope you do find it. You know, for now, just have fun with the ones you have, and I'm sure you're gonna be able to find your Terra Rosa eventually. Can't wait to get back to the gym. I know. It's been grating on me a little bit, but hopefully we're gonna find something pretty soon where we can get some nice exercise done. That would really complete my life at the moment. That'd be really nice. Let's get some nice source of movement and exercise for this for this aging body. There we go. Oh, I'm getting warm in here actually. It'll be me when I go back to the office. The lockdown body, I like that. Oh, the purple violet colors. By the way, I know you're gonna have to let us know about those as well. I love the purples. I love the purples. We're probably gonna put some more purples in here as well. And oh man, we're using a lot of white actually, so it's probably gonna take some time for this mini to dry, but you know, so it's okay. It's not a problem. You know what? Let me hold on to that thought. I was gonna put some underlighting on these feathers, but I might want to change color. Before I do that. So these, like, she put. No, these are just okay. These are just horns, but it almost looked like she put those bandages on the horns as well. But no, they are just the horns. I'm just going crazy because she's just got so many of those bandages everywhere. But no, I'm gonna put a little dot like here. Let's get the hand relaxed and just a little bit of white up there. Hey. Oh, Nosferatu yoga. That does sound pretty good as well, actually. I was actually really hoping to start doing martial arts again. I was doing karate when I was back in Italy, and that was awesome. I loved it. So I think I'm probably gonna look into some stuff like that. More the forms than the actual fighting. Just like for the self-discipline, it worked wonders for me. It was so good. I used to have such nice muscles. And then, you know, time and work and all that happened. But it is never too late to start again. And now I found out that there might be a dojo quite close to my house. So probably gonna go for it in later on. Probably gonna go for it. I am pretty excited about that. Growing up to oh yeah, you're feeding the what was it, the pigs the other day? You were like, be right back, I'm gonna go feed the pigs. Yeah, I guess when you're doing when you're in some environments that just grant you with exercise, that is pretty cool. Crispy, you know, like I had the same idea about it, but then like you said, I actually saw some people up close doing it, and I'm like, wow, that actually looks kind of hard. So if it was something that I could get, you know, close to here, that's probably, I would totally try it. I would totally try it. It's I think it's one of those like it not it looks harder than it feels, like the other way around. It feels harder than it looks. Something like that. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. That could be a nice complement to it. Just doing martial arts and yoga. I mean, I'm kind of the right country for that, aren't I? It's really funny that I stopped doing karate when I came to Japan. And I was doing it before. Oh, let me lose my shirt here a second. Yoga can be as intense or as chill. Crispy baby yoga. Super rebel. I mean, if you want to paint a way cooler fantasized image of me, I am not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna stop you at all. Go ahead. Have at it. There we go. Just doing a little bit of blending here. You guys. You're silly. Pigs and chickens. Ducks during the summer. Oh, is it because they migrate? Or just because you, I don't know. I don't know how that works. We want to start raising cattle, not until we get our fences. Oh, I see. That's really cool. I'm actually like, I come from a place where it's pretty common to have, you know, fields and cattle and animals of all kinds, because I come from mountain villages. So not me, but a lot of people that I know actually own cattle, or their own, at least their own chickens or stuff like that. So it is a different kind of reality. There's definitely some days where you get the temptation of being like, all right, I'm gonna buy some cheap land somewhere and just go off the grid. Just like, I mean, you know, maybe get together with some friends and just make a community. And like, I'd be more the like cultivating kind of a type. Like, I wouldn't really, I don't know if I could like, you know, raise and kill animals, but I think I'd be more like, I'd have the field. I'd love growing plants and that kind of stuff. So I would do that one, and I'd cook, of course. If you bring me the stuff already pre-killed, I'm gonna cook it. That's nice. Kill Bill Rebel. Oh boy. We're starting to get a little crazy there. Takes a sip from her stein. Well, that, yeah, that's actually more accurate. It's like Stila with Tiny Stein. It's like spinach. It's like spinach. Now you remind me. Let's get some spinach just now. Tiny Stein. Oof. Ducks are messy, huh? They're loud too. Nice. Hippie communes for the win. Yeah. Oh, you know. Sometimes the thought is mildly inviting. It wouldn't be the worst. It's so weird. It's like, if I could do it here where I am, I probably would. I think the big deterrent for that kind of lifestyle for me is that it would have to be that you have to be in the middle of nowhere. Probably. And I also, ever since I moved to Japan, and I am in a place where like I haven't had a car for 9 years. I really do not want to drive. That is, I used to drive. It's terrifying. I do not want to drive ever again. It's terrifying and stressful and expensive. So that's also it. It's like it would probably have to be in a place where I have to drive a whole bunch. So that doesn't sound too good actually. All right. You know, it might be time for us to put a little bit of light on those candles. That sounds pretty hype. That sounds pretty hype. I haven't heard a train in a while. Speaking of hype, it's been either I have been a bit more distracted, or it's been a lot more quiet today. Either or, probably me being distracted, but you know, we can always blame the train. Yeah, Zaka, that's a very fair way to see it. We don't like living around urban areas. Oh, there it is. The train just passed. Okay, I was getting worried. I actually do like urban areas quite a lot. I enjoy the city and nature both, but I don't know, right now I still kind of like I feel in the like in the right now, I got kind of best of both worlds because I can get to the big city, one of the world's biggest cities, pretty easily, but I'm also living in a relatively more quiet area that it doesn't have all of the downsides of the big city, which is pretty cool. Like, I mean, have you ever tried living in a big city and like going to, you know, the local supermarket in the big city? Like, sucks. And then all that kind of like everyday life kind of stuff. It's like, oof. Okay, so that is that is being pretty white. So let's add a little bit of that lemon yellow, shall we? And mix that one in a bit. That might be better, but let me clean this off a little bit and let's kind of like redo just a little because I don't want too much paint to be on there. There we go. Let's actually start from down here. Let's give that over there a little chance to settle a bit. Okay. Oh, look at that. So these lights have to be the brightest color of the whole miniature. That is kind of our goal there. So we can even, what we can do is let it sit for a couple of days and then go back over it with more color if we need to. But I think playing around with how we paint them is going to be the best thing we can do. First of all, I just want to get the base color on there. Oh, Pixel Props, it's time to pack it up. All right, terrain making day. Pixel Props, I hope you have a great time doing that. Thank you so much for popping in and participating in our painting shenanigans here. I hope to see you soon. I hope to see you very soon. Well, London, I can't wait to move out. I miss London. I have been there quite a few times and I had a lot of fun. Yep, enjoy. Always nice for you to come in, Pixel Props. Super appreciated. There we go. Oh, there. Okay. Get a bit more of that lemon yellow for the win. I really like this lemon yellow. I know I keep saying it, but that is just how it is. Oh, we didn't even do pre-glaze for these guys, did we? Did we now? So we could actually, like, I don't know, we could leave it on like that. We could wipe it off, but might actually be pretty good with that. We'll see. We'll see. And then what we can do, and we'll get a little bit of that separation with the candle. Let me actually look at something real quick. I had some candle images somewhere. Nope, I don't have them anymore. Oh well, we're just gonna do it live. Well, the one thing we can do, let's try. Let's just do a little try here. Where's my tiny, okay, brush here? Let's just try to paint the top of the candles with a lighter red and see how that looks. And see if we need to do a bit more, you know, light source kind of thing or not. A bit more blending. So actually the candle that's off, it's gonna be a little less red, I feel, because you know, you get that little bit of an effect that the light shines through the candle from the inside of the candle when you have a red candle. So the top, when it's lit, it actually looks a little lighter, kind of when I'm as I'm doing over here, right? So there we go. So I want to see first, we can do a bit of that painting, and then we can see how it looks, because we might need a bit more of that glow sort of thing. Because right now it doesn't look super candly, but we will get there. We will get there. We can even continue the effect later on, like next time. Where are we? Over here. And yeah, maybe next time we can at least get a bit of reference image for the candle, because that wouldn't be a bad thing if we're trying to go for that realistic candle kind of look. But yeah, there you go. Oh, hard to get the other side. I do love this I keep thinking cerulean today. What happened? This cadmium red. Holy hell. Cannot think of the word cadmium today. I have to make some more as well, because I was using my old thinner to make this one, and it has mostly evaporated because it wasn't too good. It wasn't too good of a thinner, so I do have to make some more. What is that? Look at the back of her foot. It looks like she stepped into a bunch of candle there. I'm gonna have to, oh, it's already going. I forgot I was using oils. Look at that. So actually, let me get this red, just a little bit of white in it, maybe. Nosferatu, you mean the pre-thinning? For the oils, the only thing that we do usually is you take them out of the tube and you mix them with some thinner until it become of the consistency of you know, acrylic miniature paint, and then we put them in these containers for easier use. If you've ever used a you know, an oil tube, they're pretty finicky to use, and for miniature painting, you do want your paints to be a little bit thinner than than the peanut buttery consistency of the oil paints. It's a lot better. Of course, you can just use them out of the tube, thin them on the palette. It is some people do that, but I do like having them pre-thinned a little bit. It does really help, especially with you know, with the whole like don't put too much paint on your mini kind of business there. So yeah, and actually I'm using high quality odorless thinner, and it's pretty important to have the odorless thinner. I used to use white spirits. But it's pretty smelly. The smell is pretty strong, and if you don't have good ventilation, it might be a little uh smelly there. Might be a little too much. So I don't know. You said you got white spirits before, so maybe try it out, see how it works for you. If you can get like the Mona Lisa odorless thinner, that would probably be your best choice there. I cannot get that one, so I have to go with something else. But still, it you might wanna get something that's odorless. Migema also has an odorless kind of thinner that I haven't tried. It's not the end of the world, Nosferatu. You just if you have maybe a an air filter or something like that. Also, when you paint, the amount of thinner you have out of a palette is just this, like literally just this much. So I remember when I was using the the smelly white spirits, it did smell, but it wasn't too much because there's not that much on the actual palette. But it can get, if you do long painting sessions, it might get a little bit strong. I remember getting a headache or two. So yeah, white spirits can be a little strong. I think even oil painters, they recommend you paint in a place that has good ventilation. I know it's all learning. You can still use them. It's oh, you got the Mona Lisa? Oh, then you should be fine. That should be odorless. That you should be fine with that. Yep. If you got the Mona Lisa, that's actually probably the best one you could be having. Yeah, sorry there. I didn't mean to alarm you. Go in that in there. I just spotted a little place that maybe we can fix in there. There we go. Just trying to get even the inner side of the candles the right color. It is a little hard, but we're doing our best. And I mean, if I can't see them, then nobody else should be able to, but still, there is always an angle that you haven't looked at your mini from, that you have neglected. You gotta look at them from every single possible angle. There we go. All right, now there's a bit of paint on these candles, and we can start working from there. We can even do a bit of blending. Not like that. Not like that. I don't want the red on the flame. There you go. Okay. Oh, 20 Dev Web. Hello, welcome in. Thank you. I think it's coming out pretty interesting. We still need a few details in there. Nosferatu, no problem. Okay. Let me think here. Yes. I think I want to blend that. I don't know why that was a thing. Oh yeah, because when I was putting the fire on the candles, yes, they got a little bit. Yeah, we can do, I mean, the top of those, it's a little stylized because it wouldn't look like that, but we can do the top of that candle flame, we can make it a little bit dark. Like we can put a little bit of like orange and even dark red on the top of the candle light. We can do some of that. You're gonna glaze on the candles. I'm actually thinking about it, 20 Dev. I'm thinking about it. You know what? Let me Google candles real quick. Let me do that. Red candles. Ooh, okay. Yeah, they get like really, me keep this. It's just an image of a candle that I have, but I'm just gonna have it while I'm looking at what to do. And there we go. Okay. Yeah, I think I know what to do next. We gotta put some highlights basically on the red candle. But before I do that, let me put some highlights on some of the metals because I want to let the candle rest a little bit. We just worked on them. We have to go back and forth. Now 20 Dab also paints minis. Do you stream as well, or do you just paint? Do let us know. So there we go. Sorry, just clean the brush a little bit there. Okay, I wanted to get this. Just getting some highlights back in there. We got this one over here. Whoops. That was not what I wanted to do. Why? Here we go. So I wanted to put the highlight back on here because this little part kind of sees the candle there. Where are you going there? It is, I have to thin it down just a little. But for now we can sort of use our blending brush to fix that. So yeah, I have to use just a tad of thinner there. Otherwise, if the paint is too thick, it's gonna go on like mud and you're really gonna notice that. I think this Scully here can use a bit of a highlight. Yes. Because maybe it's a little bit more reflective than the cloth, perhaps. Maybe even over here. And then, oh, here, of course, we gotta get our big highlight on here. Here you go. Okay, and then we got, oof, this one's gonna be tough, but we can try to sneak it in from the side. There we go. And then we got one on the other side. I actually want to put a bit more yellow in there. What is that? Oh, Paul B is coming in with a raid. Oh, hello, and welcome in. Look at that. Is that a hairdryer? Yes. That's awesome. Pickle, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome in, raiders. Let's say hi to a bunch of people. Let me see. Yes. Whoa. And thank you. Oh. Thordalim, thank you so much for that follow. Nice. I weren't expecting that. All right. Hello from Paul's chat. He's run off for a delivery. Oh, I see. Thank you for letting me know that. I hope the stream was fun there. I hope you guys had fun. Welcome in. We have been painting this girl today for a sort of like an improvisational painting stream where we had no idea what kind of color scheme we wanted to do when we started, and we just went with the flow, and it has been quite fun so far. We're doing we're working on the the object source lighting, MacBoy workshop. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. All right, well, welcome in everybody. We're catching the end of the stream here. Not quite yet, but almost, because I was gonna call it a day in a bit. But before we do that, I was doing some highlights here in our pieces of metal. There we go. All right, what else did we have? Let me actually retouch this little one here that had the, there we go. And oh, we can do a wash after the, oh, look at that. This one kind of needs a highlight over here, and then this one's gonna need the highlights retouched a little bit, and here, because this is all, I don't even know, that might not be metal, that might be more like bone, but for now we're just gonna put a few dots up on there for the highlights, and here on the knife, the dagger. Yep, digging that. All right, and even over here. So we're just retouching our candle highlights. Okay. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to welcome in all of our new people with a little cheer of our whoop tiny stein. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for stopping in. You gotta let me know what that hair dryer thing is. That looks, and is that that blue thing, is that an elephant? Is that an oni? Is that a face? Is that a totem? I'm seeing a different, every time I say it, I'm seeing a different thing every time. It's a troll. Okay, the only thing that I hadn't said, of course, it's gonna be the one thing. A troll head, gotcha. It was blue, so I was thinking about like Aoni, so I guess that was the closest guess that I had. You know. All right. So being silly here and there, I think I want to put a little bit more darkness back into some of these places. So let's do a good old dark inline wash to put back in. Oh, that guy got it only 2/3 painted. Well, there's always a time for that. 3 drops of thinner. And, oh, look at that. I spotted a little bit of red there that shouldn't be there. Boom, gone. So yeah, by the way, we are painted with oils today. Is that a piece of primer? Sorry, let me take care of a little thing here. There we go. We're painting with oils. We started painting her at the beginning of the session. She was all primer when we started. And now she's probably a bit more than halfway through, I would say. Needing some highlights and some more details, but we're there, and we're gonna have to look at how to make our candles look like more of like candles, of course. But for now, we're gonna get that let me get a brush here. Yeah, we're gonna get that pinline wash going. Actually, you know what? I want to get, we got a whole bunch of blue there, but I also want to get a little bit of purple. I think I want to put some purple in there. Yes. Let me actually add a bit of thinner. We just painted a banshee the other day, or yesterday. We finished painting our banshee. She had some nice glowy effects on them. She's actually in the in a box at the moment because I don't want her to catch all of the hairs and the fuzzies while she's drying. Before that, we actually have in here, we painted some gray skin on this drow, which turned out pretty interesting. Yes. Hey, Merlin Tani, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the Brush Break-ins. And so did a bunch of stuff like that. What else do I have around here? Well, we have our lizard that we painted some weeks ago in just 4 hours in oils. And actually, I think pretty soon we are going to do our 12-hour session where we paint a huge Tarrasque, also in oils, for 12 hours. Hey, Merlin! Thanks so much for that follow. Oh, did you see the Banshee, 20 Dav? I have her over there. I can get her out. I think the glowing color turned out pretty good. That green, man, this thing, cover your eyes, was crazy. It was looking pretty good. There we go. Came through the raid. Oh, yes, I do remember. Yes, yes, yes. We ended up not doing the red on that, but actually we we got a bunch of red on this miniature this time. Yeah. The suggestions are always appreciated. It's always a lot of fun to, and then we started discussing a whole bunch of color theory. It sparked some nice discussions there. That was a lot of fun. There you go. You're 13. Well, didn't you know that this is an adult stream? I am not responsible for anything that happens. All right. Let me go on with these washes. That's pretty impressive though, they're already like painting miniatures. That's really cool. I wish I was painting miniatures at 13. I didn't even know what Dungeons and Dragons was. I didn't even know what most things were in life. Go. Ooh. Okay, just putting some darkness back in, because when you start seeing that the contrast just ain't there, and you're adding brighter and brighter stuff, maybe you should go back and add some darker and darker stuff instead. It's just that game of the going back and forth with that. There we go. Boom. And maybe also over here. And I am starting to feel like the mini is asking me for some time to rest, because we did put quite some colors on it. So I think after these, like bringing back the darks wash, we might be quite good on her for a bit. And this was so cool though. I'm really glad I took her out of her little closet there, because she's been primed for quite a long time there, just waiting for some love. And the way we painted her today was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. There we go. Getting some of those darks back in. Where else do we need some? Maybe down. How's the base looking for darks? Whoops. Maybe could use a little bit. Not even. It's probably really good. Okay, actually around the dagger. Actually, it's gonna be a lot easier to put some highlights in the dagger after some of the paint dries a little bit, because I was starting to see that there wasn't too much. Oh yeah, 20 dab. You mean the light on her? We can always go back and add some more, of course. I was actually, that's a good light placement, I think. And then once we get a bit more color up on those candles, I think it's going to be nice to go back and forth and see what kind of color to add to both the candle and the glow, so we can actually, you know, do that in tandem together and just progress a bit at a time. At the moment, it doesn't look too connected, the candlelight with the girl, the glow on the girl, of course. But I wanted to start with something pretty muted because I know that candlelight doesn't really do, it's not like fire, it's not like you know, this kind of thing where you got a very powerful source of light and it's all, I mean, this is a little exaggerated. It's, you're not gonna look all red with with some fire on you in real life, but it's that effect, right? And also we're going pretty fantasy with this one, with the blue light on the top. So I think we're just gonna see where it goes, but definitely I want to work more on the whole light, the whole object source lighting part. Nosferatu, yeah, there's definitely a few tricks that we do when we're painting miniatures. I mean, all of the highlights that we do, a lot of stuff doesn't really have those many highlights. We just do them because we want the details on the miniatures to be highlighted, but a lot of stuff really ain't that realistic. But it looks good, and if we sometimes if you make stuff look realistic, it doesn't really look good, and it'll actually be maybe a little hard to tell what's going on. So you gotta play around with that kind of stuff. But definitely with the light, it has to look like these candles are actually shedding light on the miniature. So, and I think we gotta go back and forth between them until they look connected. There we go. All right, we're putting a bit of that wash back in there, not too much because the transparent colors tend to also be pretty shiny, so we do not want that. Yeah, right, Nosferatu. You get a little bit obsessed sometimes, like, does it look realistic? Does it look realistic? Sometimes you try to do it from, maybe from pictures, and you end up with something that looks realistic, but also looks like shit. So it's like, why? All right, okay. So I think, yeah, we can actually up the intensity of the light on the glow on her legs, and then we can probably put some yellows into the candles and give the tip of the fire. We can give the tip that orange kind of orange and dark red hue to it, and then put a bit more highlights in there, and just work around all that. But I think the improvised color scheme so far has been a whole bunch of pretty nice decisions. I am pretty happy with what we're going, with where we're going, and I think I'm just gonna keep this up, and next time we are going to finish this girl. Well, she doesn't have anything on her face, but I don't think there's much to do for the face, is there? I don't even think I wiped her face correctly, or I wiped her face at all. Did I? There's probably a little bit too much paint on it, but she's literally like, her face is in the shadow, so there's not really much we can do about that, except maybe a little bit on this side. You see, you can barely see her face, barely. So it's gonna be more about the face of this thing that she's wearing on her head. No judgment there. But all right, so I think today is gonna be a good place to call it a day, and I'll be back, I think, on Monday, where we can finish this girl and have some more fun. Maybe I'll look up some more candles, and maybe next time we can have a bit of a candle reference sheet. I didn't have anything today because it was improvisation party. So maybe next time we can have a little bit of I got a really nice candle picture there that is giving me some good ideas on what to do. So let me go look. Well, let me get our tiny stein out for end of the stream. Let me go look at where we can plop you. Who is online? Oh, we got Orthober Studio. We haven't rated in a bit. We've got, there's a Metalhead Minis, but I see 0 viewers. Did they just stream starting soon? Ooh. Who else do we got? Painted up a bunch of Russian tanks. Oh wow. Oh no. Oh no. No problem. Sometimes it looks more like a wall of text than it's than you'd think. Oh. Oh no. Yeah, it's really like a matter of balance, I guess. It's something you really start understanding when you start painting. And I think I actually do like the less realistic kind of thing where you know the way we did with stuff like, well, fantasy stuff like the lizard is pretty easy, but things like her, we put a lot of weird colors in the skin. Like she's got green, she's got purples, and well, which basically are colors that are present in the human skin. It's just that we kind of like bump them up a bit, but hmm. Yeah, this guy up after posting the last one. Whoa, did you do like a little speed paint there? Let me see. I can open that now. Whoa, look at that. That looks amazing. An hour and a half? That's awesome, Daka. Thanks for sharing that. Look at that. If someone wants a little bit of motivation there, you should go look at that. Anyway, well, Metalhead looks like they're not started yet, but we could go check out Orthober Studio. What do you guys think? You want to see some more oils? Because that's what Orthober Studio does. If there's anybody else that I haven't rated or that you would like me to raid, you have about 10 seconds to let me know, because I'm going to start Orthober Studio otherwise. Nice red, right? All right. So I'm gonna just take a sip here, give you a few seconds, and otherwise, Nosferatu wants the oils. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go to Orthober Studio then. And give him some more views too. There you go. If any of you got the ducks, just release the ducks. Not your ducks, Daka, just the, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Yeah, Orthober is, he's real chill. And he actually paints with a different oil style, so it's pretty cool. Oh, thank you, Nosferatu. Thank you for being in. Talk of like a flame. The ducks are all in the freezer. Nice. All right, you guys. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for being part of this. I didn't know how this was gonna turn out, so I'm glad if it has been fun. And we'll see on hopefully Monday how she's gonna be looking when she's finished. All right, see you on the other side. Bye.